Hi, Matthew Holscher here with Miami Executive Coach in my backyard, which I like to call the Emotional Intelligence Center here on beautiful Lake Lindgren. Today I've been working with compost. I have a beautiful organic garden and I have a lot of grass that needs renovation, so I need a lot of compost. And buying it for $10 a bag, well, the really good stuff for the garden, to $1.50 a bag is getting really expensive when I go to the local supply store. So I wanted to see how I could start making it here at home. Yard compost takes a long time to break down. After you fill the bin, it's still going to be 6 weeks to 3 months before you have some dirt that you can use in your garden. So I learned about worm composting and started a little project just last week. I fixed my pool and had these nice little 1-gallon buckets left over that just had some baking soda in them. I cleaned them up, drilled a bunch of holes in it, and used 1 cup of these worms. These are red wigglers. Night crawlers don't work, but red wigglers for about $3 a cup at your local bait shop will eat all your kitchen leftovers except for citrus. You don't want to use citrus, meat, eggs, or dairy. Pretty much anything that eats meat you don't want to put in here. Any kind of fruits and vegetables, even eggshells, are all good. So I loaded these cups up with some paper from my paper shredder. All of that junk mail, just take out the envelopes with the windows, just use the paper. The shredder shreds it up nicely. Added some shredded paper, coffee grounds, banana peels, and I have a star fruit, a carambola tree that's just dropping fruit right and left, so I've been picking it up off the ground, throwing it in the bucket, and letting it go to work. So the first thing I was worried about were bugs, and there are fruit flies. You might see them flying around in there. They're a little annoying, but they don't bite, they don't pester you, and they don't smell. So, that's the one thing I have to live with. And speaking of smell, the other thing I was really afraid of is, what is this gonna smell like? And it gets a little ripe about the first day, but as long as you cover it with paper after you put in the organic matter, it cuts down on the fruit flies and really cuts down on the smell. And now I can get my nose right in there, take a deep whiff, and really, it just smells like dirt. It's amazing that it doesn't smell nearly as bad as you think it would. Because again, there's no fats, no dairy, no egg, no meat, and definitely no fish parts in there to make it good and smelly. And now just that 1 cup of worms living in this pile of mess that looks like this have turned at least, I'd say, 30% of that into good worm casing. And right there, that is your organic compound. And if I dig down in here, I know it seems kind of gross, you could use something else. You can see the worms. They are right there. They don't want to hang out here long because they don't like the sunlight, so they take off. So I'm thinking it's going to be just a little while longer, probably about a month, and that pile of garbage, organic matter, will be turned into delicious compost. Now the hard part for me is going to be separating the worms from the compost when I'm done. So that's why I've moved up to the industrial size, which is 3 Rubbermaid roughneck boxes, 2 of them with a bunch of holes in them so the worms can breathe and get between the 2, and then the bottom one is solid to catch any extra liquid that comes out. They call that compost tea or worm tea, and that's a great fertilizer for your plants. So last week I started this top bin again with lots of organic matter, and to collect the organic matter it was kind of a pain in the butt to do it every day. So I have an old plastic Folgers coffee can, and I've just been collecting all the organic matter all day long right here in the coffee can. So now I can just sprinkle that over everything. We got coffee grounds, mate, eggshells, banana peels, and because it's sealed, it doesn't smell that bad. Ooh, some onions, a few napkins. Again, I even took some napkins in there and that kept the smell down on the paper. So now that that's in there, I can take out some paper from my paper shredder. So now we got the shredded paper. I gotta keep one hand clean for the camera. We'll just cover that up with the shredded paper. That's good. And because we've been ordering boxes from Amazon after the holidays, I got lots of boxes here that are really easy to cut up and sort of cover it up when we're done. And as an experiment, I want to see what happens with this. Because I'm fortunate enough to live on a lake, my neighbor told me that this lake grass is perfect. It turns lightly brown, and it's great for putting it in potted plants as a mulch. If you want to keep the dirt in there, just put some of that on top, and then it keeps the water from eroding away. It doesn't float, and it's easy to water, and it's good for the plant. I'm going to add just a little bit of this, just because I'm kind of curious about what's going to happen. And now we'll put in our worms. Now I've got 8 cups of red wigglers. You do not use night crawlers, you use red wigglers. Gotta eat some peanuts. And we'll start putting those guys in there. Oh, look guys, you got a new home. How exciting is that? So now we're gonna fill this up with the red wigglers, with the 8 cups. And then I'll see one of these pieces of cardboard over the top because they don't like light. So then I'll just put that down and this becomes the layers. Next week, fill up the bucket, fill up the paper shredder, put on another layer of cardboard. This whole bucket should be done in about 2 to 3 months from these worms. So that's my new worm composting. I will keep you up to date as I get more of it done. But if you want to build one of these, feel free to reach out and contact me, and I'm happy to share all my secrets. And I can't wait to be taking this compost and putting it in my organic garden here on my property and using it for my other gardening needs. Again, this is Matt Holscher with Miami Executive Coach. Please leave me some comments down below, send me an email, and I look forward to sharing more in the future. Bye.